welcome to Frazzlecast, a podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome.
I love Zeph more.
Where you can take that cloak of gnome thing off to show your goblin ugly face, okay?
I told you, never triple dog dare me to do anything, son.
My name is Frazzly. We are recording live from a tavern. This is episode 39, and each week we are joined by awesome people from around Azeroth and beyond. Like this week, we are joined by Zephirah for their third show.
Aloha, friends.
And Xortz.
The Xortz apocalypse is upon us.
Yes.
My last week on this show for a while.
And then you go into reruns for a little bit, but then we'll bring her back out in either February or March, whenever the producers decide.
I tried to slip them a $5, but apparently they said something about value for money, and that was not enough, so...
Well, yeah, and right now we're having a podcast shutdown, so...
Oh, boy.
I think they voted out... We're not going there. But yeah, great to have you both of you back. I definitely feel way better this week than I did last week. Last week, I felt like I was like clinging on for dear life for the whole show. This week, I have energy, which might be scary.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on a Mountain Dew high, so that works.
Oh, and the stuff in Mountain Dew. Do you like Mountain Dew better than Surge?
Yes.
Okay. I know someone who, as soon as Surge came back again, they were like, I'm going all Surge.
But I'd rather have, like, the Code Red. But I got a regular Mountain Dew tonight, so we're good.
Nice.
Well, considering how much coffee I consume in the course of a day, the only soda I drink now is Sprite, just to try and keep myself from going into a higher caffeine overload that could possibly be fatal.
That's smart. And the Sprite's good. I like Sprite.
It's got a good, clean taste to it, it does.
Absolutely. Zephirah, how's your week been?
Actually, it's been fun. I've been leveling Rogue, which I feel like I'm terrible at, and a Paladin with new leveling changes, and that's been absolutely great. A lot of people complaining that they broke instances. My gosh, okay.
It seems like they've been fixing the instances that they've been breaking.
Yeah, absolutely. But we could talk a little bit more about that later. But since the last show that I was on in late December, I have started that blog that we were talking about. I've interviewed Thyst, which has been great. She's wonderful. Love lagging balls.
Oh, yeah.
Blood of the Scribe is amazing. You know, it's been great just dealing and going through that community and just growing. There goes the whiskey for Xortz. All right.
It's actually water today.
Oh, wow.
I'm not as hydrated as a person should be. I have...
Well, coffee
it's
naturally dehydrates you, so there you go.
Actually, technically, no, it doesn't, because the amount of water in coffee is pretty much equal to the amount of the coffee in the coffee. So it doesn't hydrate you, but it doesn't dehydrate you either. It maintains like a parity.
Really depends on the person too. So,
well.
But yeah, that blog has been pretty cool.
It is an awesome blog.
Yeah, like book reviews. Like I did a whole thing on Indy Weir and his work, his science, and his books are amazing. You know, nerd card there a little bit, and something upcoming that I would like to kind of throw out there is that this Saturday, there's going to be a community spotlight for Scott Johnson.
Nice.
So please take a second, read it. Good guy.
The Scott Johnson. Like the granddaddy of all Blizzard podcasts. Scott Johnson.
Yes, definitely the Scott Johnson. I know yesterday there was a release of everything that's coming up in WoW for the month of February. So that's worth a read at least.
Sweet Mama Xortz, you have hit a jackpot. Congratulations, Zeph.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. Like it's been wonderful talking about the WoW stuff and the book stuff, but the other little tidbit of that I've been enjoying is the music part of it too. I did a whole thing on what my favorite songs were the last year, which is, and it's a wide array of things to listen to. Not everybody's going to like everything I put there, but it's been really good. I did a whole thing on a whole album that I enjoyed thoroughly from an artist that I've listened to ever since I was 12. So that's a thing.
Nice. And you introduced me to the song Rise, which was really good.
Yes, originally a Katy Perry song that it was covered by two parts of the band called Pentatonics, and then another gentleman. His name is Brian, and he has a really good voice. Like, that power behind a voice is really good. I've always liked his things. He has a whole YouTube page and we've even talked about this the last time I was on the show, to where it's very kind of powerful and takes the time to say, hey, you matter. So that's been my thing. I'm kind of excited, if you can't tell.
Great gets. I mean, the Thyst, Xortz, and Scott. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, and by the way, since we're here, I am going to do a little bit of a shout out for you, Xortz, because you did a great job with the community spotlight.
I was not going to bring that up. I was like, it's already out there. If people seen it, they seen it. I am by no means on the level of a Thyst, and definitely not on the level of a Scott Johnson. I got my own little corner of the interwebs I'm currently burning down, and
but
I'm
that's
happy
what matters,
with
is that, like, you might not have the same kind of huge following like Scott or Thyst does, but your corner of the internet matters, and you're making people happy, and you're doing the Iron Man challenge, which I haven't done yet, and that's cool. Like, you're doing the podcast thing. And it's just, like, you have been everywhere, and it's just cool to see that you're chomping away at the bit doing all of that. So
I get bored.
And Xortz, I do think, since you're a goblin, you definitely probably could make an exploding tire. So see, you could be like Scott. That was a Overwatch podcast shout out, because Scott has a podcast named Exploding Tire. That joke.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got it. I don't really follow Overwatch stuff, so I'm aware of them. I don't really listen to them, but they got their thing over there. You got your thing right here. And I'm like way over there. Like, let's play a nice wholesome game and rip it to shreds.
Yeah. Oh, Xortz, you need to pick up Amnesia from the Humble Store.
Horror games ain't my bag, dude.
Okay.
Well, it seems like he's married to World of Warcraft like you are, Frasley, so that's a thing.
Yeah, that the only thing I do in WoW, and I guess we're gonna get into my week now. Segue?
Absolutely.
Is the Iron Man contest. I don't have I used to be pretty big into role playing, and telling stories and stuff like that, which is why I started my old podcast, is because there were so many great people out there telling stories, and I wanted people to know about it. With some changes in life from last year, I'm not able to do that anymore. And Iron Man, I can just pick up and put down whenever the hell I want. Sadly, the recently launched Iron Teams Challenge, Team Puppet, has sadly perished.
Ooh.
In the Barrens. Many centaurs left aside. So my friend Easy and I, our undeads, are now really dead, but we have re-rolled, and we will be resuming tomorrow night over on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv Xortz Goblin. So that'll be happening tomorrow. Also, this past weekend, we launched our first Iron Leveling contest of the new year. We do one about every 3 months. This one is the Eastern Kingdoms Free-for-All. And the gist of this is, Iron Man rules apply, white and gray gear only, no potions, no talents, no PvP, no dungeons, no raids, the usual rules. And with a twist, you have to use the default spec.
Okay.
You cannot play a paladin or a hunter or a death knight or a demon hunter. And you have to be one of the races based in the Eastern Kingdom. So either Worgen, Forsaken, Blood Elf, Human, Dwarf, Gnome.
Ooh, Gnome. Roll Gnome.
With the new patch and the level scaling deployed, it's rough. It is rough, it is scary, and it is wonderful. I've already lost one toon. I think for the first run, and not having done anything since the patch dropped before that, with the exception of the Iron Team with Nisi, which is different because there's 2 of us. I made a respectable showing on a priest, and I wasn't the first to die, which is always nice. Dying's kind of been my thing in that community, so.
Yeah, that would be me even the Iron Man. When I do my first Iron Man, I'm probably going to die.
Oh, you will. It's just a question of when.
Yes.
Yeah, so I first priest died, immediately re-rolled a new priest, and back at it. So that's been a thing. It's been pretty interesting to see how the level scaling's affected just regular everyday stuff. And we actually found some interesting glitches out there. And one of them apparently has been around for a while and nobody's fixed it yet. There's these rams in the Howling Fjord, the very northern part of the Howling Fjord, that can one-shot a normal tune. So something's been broken for a while. We did some research and found posts about it from last March, and Blizz still hasn't fixed it. So beware, if you're in the Howling Fjord and you're on a regular tune, you could get murdered horribly.
Sounds like some very nasty rams. Probably need to change the ram.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Wow.
Also jumped into World of Warships.
Nice.
Apparently, games that spell WoW are a thing for me now. I've discovered that playing bots is easy, playing people not so much. People tend to be a lot smarter than the bots.
That's for sure. Until they make the AI like the DeepMind thing, and it's Google, and they know more than we do.
But I've been doing pretty well. Sunk some ships, damaged others, got sunk myself. That's a nice little can hop in, do a couple rounds, walk away, and it's not like PUBG, which is anger game.
Yeah.
Aside from that, work's been getting busier because Super Bowl is coming up, so people need frozen pizzas. Lots of frozen pizzas
and ice cream.
Ice cream, not so much for this little block of time. We're in the middle of the pizza apocalypse.
They're going to run out of pizza, and there'll be no more pizza ever again after this.
No, there'll always be pizza, friend. It's just I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot content-wise from Saturday through Wednesday of this coming week because I'll be working 10 hours a day, every day. So I'm going to be sore, I'm going to be tired, and I'm probably going to want to just crawl into bed and die.
Yeah. Nice. The dying part doesn't sound nice, but everything else sounds nice.
I mean, the money will be nice.
Yeah.
Because I already logged a couple extra days for this week, or hours for this week, so
when you're eating your pizza, think of Xortz.
Yeah. Or you could just say, hey, pizza, and eat it.
Yeah.
And that's about it for me. It has been a pretty tame week in Xortzland.
Okay. Over in Frasleyville, I came down with the sickness. Last Thursday morning.
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Okay.
So I got sick last Thursday. You might have heard it throughout the show last week. The last 5 minutes, my voice just plummeted, and ever since then, it got so bad. And I slept on Thursday. I didn't know how I was gonna make it to the show last Thursday, but I did. But I went straight to bed. Then Friday, I slept most of the day. Saturday, I got up.
Oh, you missed one hell of a post show, my friend.
Oh, I bet. And that's what I've been hearing all week is I was just so tired. I was like, I need to go to bed. And I'm glad I did. And then Saturday, I kept getting better. I mean, I kind of took a little bit of time off. I got the podcast edited, but that was kind of about it. I didn't do a lot of WoW. I watched a lot of Netflix and kind of slept on the couch for a little bit until about Monday and Tuesday. Then I started playing WoW again. And I feel a lot better now. My voice is still coming back, and I have a slight cough here, but it's I feel much better. Oh, I did not have coffee on Monday. I don't know how this happened.
What?
I know. It was 5 p.m. I'm like, I did not have coffee today. And it was just too late to have coffee. I was downing water like I was pregnant. I'm serious. I mean, I kept eating stuff all Sunday and Monday. I could not get enough water. I kept drinking and drinking. Monday evening I was hanging out with a friend, and I had 2 bottles of water that I downed in 45 minutes. I was just so thirsty. And every time we
well, the sick will do that to you, man.
Yeah, but
That's why they tell you to drink fluids.
for some reason I didn't want coffee, so it's the first time in probably years that I did not have coffee on a day. But then Tuesday I had coffee. I was on the Converted that evening. It was a lot of fun. Barf, Sal, and Turarts, amazing people. It was fun hanging out with them, talking with them. Had a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. I'm going to be on the Worgen's Howl next. Tomorrow night, I'm going to sit down with Kaz and Frosty, and they're going to interview me for the upcoming show. So I'm excited for that too. Because like Worgen's Howl is actually... Yeah.
Dude. I really need to tune into that show sometime. I never have. I mean, I know Kaz from the amazing cosplays she puts together.
It's a fun show because like when you listen to it, there's just like two voices that are really calming, and they both have a good chemistry, so they play off each other during the show. And it's a show that it's one of the longest podcasts that I've listened to. I mean, not longest in time, but the one I've listened to the longest. And in fact, through that one, I got involved with the Worgen's Howl group house in their Discord. That's where I became friends with Silverbolt. That's also through that where I got into Convert to Raids. So it's been a great starting point to where I am now. So I owe a lot to the Worgen's Howl, and I've been talking with them. So it's fun to finally be on the Worgen's Howl. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that seems like fun.
It's a great podcast, and it feels weird. I feel like I'm making the podcast circuit right now. Realm Maintenance, The Converted.
Are you trying to compete with Thorn and Thyst for most podcasts 2018?
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're such a popular gnome now.
One day, hopefully, I'll be on Frazzlecast. I keep emailing that show to see if they'll have me on.
I know the guy. I could talk to him
if you will, because I like the show. It's a fun show.
Oh yeah.
Especially the gnome train. That's my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, you might just have to get through that weird little girl person, whoever she is.
Yeah. And wow, I've been enjoying my druid. Oh wow. Druid travel form changes automatically from swimming to ground and probably
you
to
didn't
flying.
know this?
No, I didn't know this at all.
I discovered that because I'd never played a druid before I made one for Iron Man. I discovered that while swimming and jumping out of the water because I just do that. I things to amuse myself, and I changed it. And it went from manatee or whatever the hell you are to stag back to manatee. And I was like jumping. There's a clip out there from my Twitch of it. I'll have to link it to you. And I was highly amused by this. And then I discovered the song Ocean Man, which plays every time I'm in the water in travel form. So.
Nice.
That's a thing.
And does it go to flying once you unlock flying?
I don't know. I haven't unlocked flying. That druid is dead, sir. As all irons eventually become.
This isn't an iron because I can't kill off Thunder.
No, I don't know. I have no answer for that question. So I'm just going to do what every good pundit does and lie and say, yes, it does.
Okay, nice. And I'm hoping I cannot find any set area in the game to tell me what my movement speed is, but I'm trying to decide if travel form is faster than riding on a mount. One of the things said it's supposed to be your mount speed, but then online it's telling me that it is, but then it doesn't. Your guild perk to make your mount speed faster doesn't apply to your travel form, so I just need to find an add-on that'll put the movement speed in the game so I can see which one's faster.
I don't know. I think at low level they are comparable, but as the riding gets upgraded, I think the riding might actually be a smidge faster.
Okay. Then travel form could be useful if I just need to go in and get around real quick. And then, because it's nice going into stuff.
I don't know. I'm not a subject matter expert on this, but I know one. Hold on. Let me, to the Discords, I will ask.
And I got my druid to level 24 today. And at level 20, I got my favorite form. My Moonkin form. I had seen people on Moonkin. I never realized that they actually play in Moonkin form. How fun it is. I mean, it's just like, it's this big bird. It's like just walking around, casting Moonfire, casting all this stuff. I'm like, I like my Gnome Frazzly, but I'm really liking my Night Elf Druid Thunder. Thunder's going to be my ult. I mean, Frazzly's still always going to be my main, but I'm really enjoying the Druid right now. Until it maybe it's just the leveling. You know, that that honeymoon period with the character, and then later on it starts getting boring, and you're like, oh yeah, this is why I don't like this.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed leveling, so the only thing is that I'm leveling the Paladin, which is fine, but it's the Rogue that I'm having problems with. I'm not comfortable with the class.
Breaking news.
I didn't break anything.
No, you didn't break anything, but as we were talking, 8.0 or beta 1 build 25902 is on the beta servers. This is from Wowhead.
That's probably friends or family. Are you sure it's beta and not alpha?
No, it says beta.
Interesting.
The Wowhead's pretty good about their news, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of skimmed through it real quick. I don't see anything that is like right now. It's just a lot of text and stuff like that. But Battle for
okay.
Azeroth.
Well, the questions have been sent to the appropriate experts. Now we wait.
Thank you, Moonkin Thunder. Thanks you,
Moonkin Thunder.
That's his name. It's Thunde. Thunder.
The thunder from down under. I mean, what?
I mean, we've been talking about basements on Twitter, so.
Basements.
Yeah, whips and chains and 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, so I can't even make an innuendo there. You guys. Great. Why am I even here?
Because we like your fun-loving tinkering goblin face.
Oh, okay. It is rather nice.
I mean, especially with that ginormous mole on your nose. Ooh, you might want to get that looked at.
Right.
Okay, there's a lot of things that they're starting to data mine in 8.0. I don't want to say anything until I look over it further, so we'll save that for the next show because we'll know a lot more by then. But yeah, can you all feel it? Can you feel the excitement? We're getting ready for Battle for Azeroth. I know it's into the beta and alpha stuff, so it's still, for being on live servers, is coming soon, but can you feel it?
Yeah.
I
would just like to throw something out there for the peoples.
Yes.
If you get into the beta, don't just use it like an early access kind of vibe. Actually report your bugs, because from what I hear, that was a big problem with this last patch, is not a lot of people were in comparison to previous patches, the number of people on the PTR was not as high as it normally was. Things were not getting reported, which is why we had so much broken crap. Or one of the reasons we had so much broken crap, I should say. I'm not going to say it's the be-all, end-all.
Since you said that, that's a perfect segue into the first topic. Go ahead, Presley.
From Wowhead, raid scaling, outdoor mob hit points, and performance issues have been fixed. So nerfs seem to be even further than pre 7.3 health. Things that were hard in before 7.3.5 should be even easier. They're even easier than what they were before they became harder. Performance issues seem to have been fixed too. One thing I didn't put here, but Deadly Boss Mods has said sounds have been changed, and they're still working through that. They have a couple workarounds on their site to make Deadly Boss Mods sounds work. Go to deadlybossmods.com if you use that. Mista Pandaria NPCs in the 90 to 93 level range have had their health reduced by 31.987%. And Warlord the Draenor NPCs in the level 90 to 100 range have had their health reduced as well.
So basically what that means is that the monsters on the outside were way too hard, and then the instances that were soloable by players can now be soloed again from Mists and WoD. And that's, again, what Xortz said. It's more like, okay, you weren't reporting the bugs, you weren't telling us that this was what was happening before and this is what's happening now. So that's the whole thing with that.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe during the PTR, a lot can go wrong when actually deploying a patch.
That too, probably another zero or a period somewhere.
I am not a video game designer. I'm not a programmer. I cannot speak from any kind of soapbox on this. I also kind of find it funny people are still like fucking, pardon my language, just losing their minds over the problems that the patch brought. And it's like, okay, smartass, why don't you go to programming school? Why don't you learn how to animate? Why don't you learn how to do all these things? You put out a video game. Let's see how smooth it goes for you.
Or at least have some basic understanding of it. People don't realize that, yeah, you can learn the code. It's all online. Go learn it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that went into this change, and sadly some things are going to be affected. we're going to see some even more issues probably when they do the item squish, the rumored item squish of Battle for Azeroth.
Oh, yeah,
no,
probably.
Ian suggested that. Yeah, that's a definite thing that's happening. Don't know if we're going to get it now or, definitely for Battle for Azeroth. Like, there's not set time frame on that, but more than likely we'll have it for the next expansion.
I'm actually amazed at how quickly they got fixes out for all these issues, because like they saw the issues that were popping up from 7.3.5, and by the weekend they had most of these things fixed.
Oh, yeah, they deployed another maintenance that Friday, and they were like, okay, it didn't take as long as they said they were going, and it fixed quite a bit of the things, and then they've been doing hot fixes since then.
Yeah, and not fixes. I didn't add them because there's a lot of small changes, but even some things that have been broken for a while, from what I understand, are now fixed in these hot fixes. So Blizzard's working on them. They may not have fixed the thing that you want them to fix at this point, but they're working on fixing these, as well as rolling out an expansion. I know the two aren't mutually dependent or exclusive, however that phrase goes, but they're updating the current game as well as getting another version of the game ready for launch.
Right, because you have to figure there's some other games and stuff that are out there that are really like, okay, this stuff is out, we're done with it, and just move on to the next.
Yeah.
And not fix the bugs or whatever issues they may have now, because it's already there.
Already the 13th.
Yes. That game that I've never played, but I've heard.
I mean, it looked like a hell of a lot of fun to play with friends, but it's still so fucking broken. It's like, not worth it. Nope.
Glad that they're fixing these. Another thing that people are upset at is the changes to recruit a friend in patch 7.3.5. It is down from 200%, so like a 300% XP versus base XP is now 50% bonus. In addition, 3 XP bonuses provided by heirlooms do not stack with the refer friend bonuses. Players that are actively using the program when the announced changes happened will still benefit from the old program. Blizzard has responded to this feedback, and they say, thanks for the feedback and thoughts so far. The Refer a Friend system is intended as an option for players who want to invite a friend to play WoW with them and experience the game together. When it was first introduced, we gave it a hefty bonus to experience gain as a way for both players to reach in-game content as quickly as possible. Nowadays, purchasing the latest WoW expansion includes a free character boost, so the need to rush your friend to max level is no longer there. You can jump into the latest content with your friend right away. This meant that the only players who were using the Refer a Friend system in its intended way, leveling alongside their friend, were those who had decided that they wanted to experience that content together. We realized that, for those players, the 300% XP bonus was a disservice. We were cutting that shared experience short by making them finish it far too quickly. Now, we certainly recognize that the majority of people using the Refer a Friend system before these changes were doing so in order to level alts quickly. If anything, we take that as a strong indication that the system needed to change. The best method to level a character in WoW shouldn't be buy a new copy of the game, put it on a separate account, send it a Refer a Friend invite, level a new character, and then transfer that character to your primary account and you're finished. That's messy at best. That said, we're certainly taking the feedback about the rate of leveling alts into account as we move forward with the game's development. We've been happy with the changes so far, but if leveling is too slow, we'd rather address that in the game itself than have a Refer a Friend be some kind of bizarre workaround to an outstanding issue. And this came out after the leveling changes, so I think Blizzard is saying if with the leveling changes it's too slow, we're willing to talk about that.
Okay, so Zeph's going to get on her soapbox.
Yes.
All right, so Raph, Refer a Friend. I've had 2 instances where I've used the said bonuses and things. First time when I first got into playing WoW, and the second was as they were referencing in the feedback part there that playing with friends and leveling and whatever. Now, do I think 300% was or 200% was a lot? Yes. Absolutely. It was. Do I think 50% is a little low? Yeah. But I can understand the thought of heirlooms not being tied to that because of the changes, or at least not right now. Because you want to see how players, new and old, react to the overwhelming changes to the zones, especially the older players, because, a lot of them have a lot of those achievements. You want new players to experience it in the best way and have them use things like Wowhead and all that, experience all of it. So I can understand that not being tied together anymore. But here's my soapbox part of it. There's some YouTubers, WoW YouTubers namely, they're like, well, this is a pay-to-win game now. I'm like, no, not really. And their point of it is that, as Blizzard said, there is a boost that they were given for 2 expansions now, and that's still available. That's $60. Okay. So, essentially, that's the value of a new expansion. But if you look at it from a perspective of a new player, that's the battle chest, which is about $20. The new expansion, which is the one that we're in, which is $60. And if Blizzard forced you to pay for the boost, what's the point? Like, for me, for new players, I would tell them, no, do not take the boost. Do not use it, because even if you're given it for free, you're not learning your class. You don't know. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into, especially if you're a healer. Like, I have a hard time with rogues. I wouldn't be able, as a new player, with a hard time with rogues that I have, to be able to efficiently play the game and even enjoy it. To where if I was a new player now, leveling with my rogue, I would quit. I would be done. I would have been done. And I would have been out of the game. So that's like, Blizzard in that respect is losing money. Because that's not counting, and I'm just talking base game expansion, the newest expansion, and the $60. That doesn't count, $15 a month for the monthly service there either. You don't have to pay for a boost. There's nothing forcing you to do that. But for players that's been there for a while, if you want to spend the money and you know how to play the game, fine. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to, because there's so many players that don't like leveling, don't like the questing. So that's okay. Like, play the game the way that you find it to be fun. So if you want to play the end stuff and you're good at that, do it. Because there's a lot of players that are strong at that and like to pick up anything. I know I can't. At least give it a shot through the leveling stuff, though.
Yeah.
Because if it's only been out for 2 weeks.
And through this, if the leveling is slow, Blizzard is saying that they definitely want to hear your feedback on that.
I don't know, like, where I would put it might not be where Blizzard would put it. What I'm thinking, like, in the back of my head, like, maybe sit it at 75%.
Okay.
And kind of see how that works. And if we feel like it's better at the 50 rather than 75, because we can always have that sliding scale of things. And they can test that. It just depends on how Blizzard wants to go about it.
Yeah.
What I would do is, for the people that are willing to work on that, maybe in the beta, be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Okay, you have to, report to us, tell us how this feels, let us know of any bugs, anything like that. But I would still leave off the heirloom bonuses and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
So, or even, use it with one group of people, have it just the refer a friend thing, and then maybe get another group of people and see how it works with the heirlooms together at that percentage point, so that way they can kind of get a perspective on how it all works together. Because I certainly don't want them to break anything,
I'm wondering if, because it doesn't stick with heirlooms, I'm wondering if they're trying to allow you to either use refer a friend or heirlooms to get the same effect.
Well, that's the funny thing with the refer a friend and not having the heirloom bonuses. If you haven't realized, all of the flashing things that gives you that extra percentage, like there was one out in Pandaria that you can pick up that had you level through WAD like in 15 minutes. It was that 15-minute flask, whatever it was. I forgot what the name of it. So basically you can have a bunch of bonus parts there in Spires or whatever it's real quick and you can be at level cap. They took all of those out. Like, those are no longer a thing. Essentially, like, I'm going halfway here with people that are complaining about heirlooms and the XP from Refer a Friend. If those flasks no longer exist, then my mind goes, okay, well, what's in the code that would break Wrath with heirlooms? Like, what is there that would cause a problem? And I'm trying to get behind their thought process on that. And I'm not exactly clear on that. And I think that's where they're missing an opportunity to explain that to us. But at the same time, I think I get it. Like, it probably would be too much. There's probably would go too fast. I don't know. But has it been tested? And if it hasn't, then we need to look into it.
I don't think it's as much that it breaks. Where I'm thinking more is that they don't want to make it where you have to either choose Refer a Friend or heirlooms.
See, but that's basically forcing that choice right now. And if it was between Refer a Friend and heirlooms, I would be like, forget Refer a Friend, because there's not anybody that I would want to force to buy the game that may not like it, or they would quit in a week.
I think Refer a Friend was meant more to be there if you brought a friend in and you wanted to play together. I don't think it was never meant to be used as a alt leveling thing. And that's kind of what they're saying halfway through, is that it turned into an alt leveling system, not a, hey, your friend's in the game, why don't you level with them, and we'll kind of help give you levels as you're both taking time to play together.
Yeah, because I've experienced it both ways, and before this change. And either way for me wasn't as enjoyable as just going on your own and exploring on your own. So for me, honestly, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this, I can see Raph just going away and being happy with it and getting the XP bonuses back from the heirlooms and giving me back my flasks. Like, I would be happy with that. And that's just me, because I already in the game. If, like, I see somebody having a hard time, I'm like, okay, let's go do this thing. Or I'll, like, one day last week, there was a guy asking for a portal, and I jumped on my mage, and I flew him to a flight path that he needed, and so that's already a thing. Like, I already help people without refer a friend. So I might as well just say, forget that, let me help people this way.
Yeah, and I think that's what Blizzard's trying to fix, is the people who are using it to level and stuff like that.
And that's sort of their fault. I'm sorry, but it is. It's sort of their fault. Like, they given you way too much, and now you're mad that they took it away. Yeah,
and I think Blizzard's just trying to rein in some of the stuff that they misstepped here and there. Xortz, do you have any takes on this?
I have never used it. I know people that have used it, and mainly the main people I know used it wasn't really because they were interested in the XP bonus. Back when you had the rocket mount, that's what they wanted.
So, AKA, get rid of the Refer a Friend, put the mounts up on to pay for them, and be done with it. And again, I got a Refer a Friend mount out of it, but I would rather just pay $10 for the mount. Like, that seems silly to me. Like, is that the only reason why you're doing it? Okay, well, then just pay for the mount. That's it. Like, sorry, soapbox. That just makes me irritated, because, like, we are given a lot in this game. I mean, a lot. And they could have charged us more for things, like the boost, like this. I can't even remember how much Refer a Friend thing is, but it doesn't seem like, for both players. And I'm like, but it, like, works out to where it's like, okay, is this really even worth paying for? And it doesn't seem like it is.
Yeah, well, and like I bought copies of WoW on the holiday sales a year ago, and I bought game time for each of those accounts so I could get the pets and stuff like that. I didn't use it to boost alts, but I used it for the pets.
Yeah, so basically you got a free boost out of that. You could have boosted that one character, then moved that one character that you had over to your main account, and then deleted that old account. Again, Blizzard shooting themselves in the foot on that. So they're essentially losing that time that someone would have committed to playing the game for.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm saying I'd rather see Refer a Friend go.
And I think that this is what we're seeing, is we're seeing the tightening of it. We're seeing the things people have been using with it go away.
Yeah, but now on the other side of it, if this does go away, what of those flasks? Would those things come back, or would it even be appropriate for those things to come back? That's another question, and I don't know how to answer that one, other than yes, I would want them back, but that's just me.
I think if we're going to see those again, we would not have seen a leveling zone revamp, things being harder. So I think part of it is Blizzard wants to make things take a little bit longer to get from 0 to 110.
Yeah, I mean, but here's my thing. It's like I've spent so much time with my main that I wouldn't mind that. I've taken Zeph from pre-batch Kata till now. I mean, if you care anything about your tunes, you're going to stay with them.
Absolutely. Unless you're teenage Frasley who kept deleting all of their alts.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting rid of my mages. I love my mages too. My one mage is... I'm sorry, she's a panda. She's cuter than you, Xort.
That's fine. I have alts. I've got a full list on my main server. Then I've got all my Iron and Challenge Tune alts spread out amongst 3 other servers.
I mean, why couldn't you be a panda?
I have a panda. He's fat and he's
at
dumb.
The soul of, but at your core, you're a goblin.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. It's true. It's in the name. It's out there. It's in your face. We ain't hiding nothing here.
Okay, Zords, put your pants back on. Let's get to the next topic.
Also from Wildhead, Mythic Blast Furnace has been nerfed. An undocumented change in 7.3.5 is the slags did not require groups to mind control a guard to kill, only took 60% reduced damage rather than the 90 to 99%. And Ice Wolf DK also pointed out another change in the comment section. The Prima Elementalist can also be killed without needing slag. They too only have 60% damage reduction.
Yeah, so that was kind of like you go in, you tank and DPS the crap out of them, and then you're done.
This could probably be good for soloing at some point, because there's a quest that I didn't realize in Mythic Blast Furnace that you get this quest, and after defeating the Blast Furnace 4 times, you can go straight to the end boss.
What?
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while now. Where have you been, Presley?
I didn't play Blast Furnace that much, so I had no idea that was there. I need to go work on that, because then I can farm for the mount. But now it'll be easier to defeat Blast Furnace because of these changes.
AKA Presley needs a healer. Let's go.
Hey, maybe Thunder can help me, because Thunder is a healer.
No, you'll be too busy tanking. You'll be too busy tanking. On your little Frasley man pants.
Okay.
You need an awesome disc priest to go with you. I will go. It's fine.
Okay.
Frasley man pants. No such thing exists.
I'm a big kid now.
Sure.
Okay, I just washed your boxer briefs. Let's not make a mess of them again, okay?
Okay. I'll do better this time. Oh, and Call of the Scarab micro holiday just happened. And
yep,
the Alliance won!
I demand a recount of the votes.
Listen, you tinkering fool, you Zorth, you're just jelly donut.
You won last year, Zorts, so sit down.
That's right. Horde should win every year because Horde better.
No, I'm sorry. Alliance is better.
More like your mole won last year. So, again, you need to get that thing cleaned out.
But I actually did not participate this year, so that's why the Alliance won, is because I had other things to do.
Yeah, I was sick, so I didn't even play Call of the Scarab this time. Actually, I don't think I played it last time either. Thank you to whoever's on the Alliance.
So you're hugely excited about an event that your faction won and you didn't even help.
Absolutely, but I'll take credit for winning.
You freeloading little bastard.
Absolutely.
Hey, he was sick.
I was sick.
That little gnome was put to bed.
If I had been there, I probably would have made half the Alliance sick, and then they would be like, yeah, but Anduin, we can't work today. We're all sick because of that gnome.
That was the plan, Frasley.
Are you the one who got me sick?
I'm not saying maybe something slipped into one of your coffees.
Oh.
I'm not saying something might not have been, added to one of your weird frou-frou mocha crap Frappa.
Okay.
Whatever you drink.
No, stop. We're going to set the record straight. I drink my coffee black with a little bit of Splenda or toffee nut syrup, but I don't do all that weird stuff in coffee. I want my coffee.
Excuse me, there's nothing wrong with a toffee nut mocha frappuccino with extra mocha nuts.
Can you repeat that again? I didn't even hear what you said. You sounded like just gobbledygook.
There is nothing wrong with a mocha frappuccino with extra toffee nut in it, and meh.
How much caffeine is there in there? Because I've looked up the different caffeine amounts, and like in a frappuccino with all this stuff, there's very little actual caffeine. I need the caffeine. I just need a tall glass of pure caffeine.
I usually, when I go to Starbucks or whatever, I get a
there's
caramel,
your first problem.
A caramel frappuccino with 2 shots of espresso in it. So
Starbucks, overpriced mediocre coffee. Good job.
I don't like Dunkin' Donuts, though, so I know. I'm from Pittsburgh. I should love Dunkin' Donuts, but I don't.
Look, as a connoisseur of gas stations coffee, you can't go wrong with a gas station coffee.
7-Eleven is the best.
No, you know who has the best coffee? I am serious. McDonald's.
That's all right.
No.
It's $1 coffee.
I hear Tim Hortons is really good, and they do have some here in town. I keep meaning to stop by one and get a cup and try it. But
yeah, I had some of their bad coffee. That was actually really good. I prefer Tim Hortons over McDonald's coffee, though. So
I do the McDonald's K-Cups, but I go to Starbucks because it's on the way. So I'll be going.
That's gross. Ew, McDonald's coffee. That's gross.
Compared to the Starbucks K-Cups, it's much cheaper.
I will give you that.
And something else that people will probably going to say is very gross. So Wowhead has data mined the name of the dog mount. It is Shuzin, the Divine Sentinel. And as they're saying, it is a level 20 requirement, and based off of the patterns that they're seeing, it's probably a store mount. Which, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to order the second comes out, so.
But you won't play Hearthstone.
Well, because it doesn't give me WoW shinies, so. And I don't understand Hearthstone. I'm looking at all this card stuff, and it's like, no wonder I did it, because I never made my decks, stuff like that, so it's.
AKA, when you have the time, and can watch Major Death. Major shout out to Major Death, because he's taught me how to play Hearthstone. Basically, him and shut up, Xortz, with your nasty little mole in your nose. But yeah, between him and the game case or Cuddles, they actually taught me how to play. So he actually has coaching sessions. Major Death does. So you can hop on a night where he's streaming. I'm gonna smack that snot right out of you, Xortz.
Your time will go down the toilet. Don't do it. It's a time vampire.
Yeah, I think I'll just play WoW.
See, Xortz,
Somebody's gotta keep him on the straight and narrow, Zeph.
but you're also a goblin with an ugly mole on his nose. Don't listen to Xortz.
You know, Zeph, words hurt. Words hurt.
I know, but so does looking at that eyesore.
So looking at a Wowhead link from Rooster, does sound like the Druid travel form does get affected by the Pathfinder, but sadly there's a few things like the guild perk and stuff like that it's not affected by. So if I want the fastest speed, I still want the mount, but I'll take a little bit of a slower thing for the fast stuff you can get with the travel form. So at least, I mean, I see why I drew a travel form. It won't replace the mount form. Wowhead's been looking at stuff. Just refresh the page. There's actually some very interesting things. I won't go into anything because I don't know how much of it is spoilery. Probably a lot of it. But wow, we're getting a lot of data already for 8.0. It's happening.
Yeah.
That might have been one too many air horns, but
right.
And also something that we got the Battle for Azeroth Collector's Edition rewards. Sea Braid Stallion, Gilded Gilded Ravasaur, and the Tottle Battle Pet. So the Stallion is for the Alliance, the Ravasaur is for the Horde, and both factions get the Tottle, the little turtle.
See, you guys just get, here's another horse. We get a man-eating freaking dinosaur. It's gonna eat that horse. Yeah.
But you know what? Our horse is pretty, and we didn't desert the Alliance when they needed them. Like you all deserted us when we needed you for Varian.
I'm sorry, but our rear ends were getting kicked just as bad as yours. Our war chief, Bolden, great troll that he was, desperately needed our help.
But he still died.
Yes, sacrifices were made, but
okay,
you know
what? I'm not going to go there. I'm still angry at the Horde, so I'm not going to go there. One thing that all of this information brings out is Alpha soon, and WoW had said during one of the during the Azeroth class design blog, at the end they had the phrase, "We move forward with the alpha testing in the near future." So WoWhead's just saying, when is it soon? And one thing that I was thinking is, if we're getting a turtle pet for both factions, I wonder if the turtles factor in heavily for the story. Would make sense with the water theme that we're seeing with Battle for Azeroth.
Well, I mean, you got to consider we have some old gods to deal with. We also have a Shara, so she's already been pegged to be a raid boss. But that's a whole nother spiel for another show for me. No more soapbox for me tonight.
And we have plenty of more content to fill until Battle for Azeroth. Definitely keep that in your back pocket.
Oh yeah, I need to do a blog post about that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Soon, TM.
Wait, Half-Life 3 confirmed?
What?
Valve soon, TM. That was like Valve trademark soon, because they keep saying Half-Life 3 will be out, but they make enough money off of their Steam that they're not gonna.
Well, that's a Blizzard thing now, soon, TM.
That is true. But at least Blizzard's delivering now.
Yeah, I mean, if Blizzard says, hey, we're going to do something, they generally tend to do it. Titan being perhaps the biggest exception to that, but that's also where I believe Overwatch spun out of, so.
Yeah, Blizzard didn't think that they could make the game that they wanted, so that's why they didn't want to release something that wasn't going to be Blizzard quality.
Well, that's how I love, like, they announce expansions and stuff, and people are like, well, when's it coming out? It's like, when it's out. And we don't get it. No, you're not going to get a date. But Blizzard has this philosophy that's kind of separate from its parent company, Activision, which Activision will throw any old shit out there. Blizzard is just like, we ain't putting it out until it's done.
Yeah, which is why Classic won't be out for a while. They just wanted to tell people, hey, Classic is coming, hold your horses. If you get the new mounts, hold your horses.
And I know that my brother, whenever he started playing Overwatch, he got into the beta for that. He said, this is pretty much a done game. Like, this is ready to be released. He's like, but it seems like Blizzard, because he hasn't played WoW or anything before this, or any other Blizzard games before this. He was like, this seems like they want to really get it right. And I'm like, exactly. He's like, so what exactly are they waiting for? I'm like, probably just some back-end thing. And that's what it was. Like, they wanted to make sure their stuff was right, store, all that. Then they released it, and he's been playing Overwatch now since its release, and he's enjoyed it. Play Diablo on his Xbox. That's a great experience if you like the controller side of things. AKA Fresley will never play it because it's not WoW.
I might play Blizzard World whenever I get a PC.
Uh-huh. I don't believe you.
I own Overwatch, a copy of Overwatch, so I got it on sale.
You might play that for 20 minutes and you'll be done because it's not WoW.
That is true. Because I'm married to WoW. There's so much to do in WoW. I keep finding new stuff to do. Like Thunder!
Talking about WoW, eventually we're going to have to level a tune together, because that would just be fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
I mean, maybe go to the dark side with Xortz?
Just as long as you can deal with my always changing schedule.
Oh, that is fine for me. I'm willing to wait for an awesome gnome.
Aww.
That's so sweet. I think I'm going to be sick.
Well, while you're sick and puking, let's discuss the Battle for Azeroth class design overview. They had a class design post, and what I kind of got from reading it is that they are trying to make each class spec feel unique, and how they fit into each type of combat, make it different group makeups feel different based off of what people pick. They don't want talents to feel like a per type of content, but that more you choose a talent and it changes what you can do, but it also adds unique flair to what your character can do. So kind of giving you personality. And they don't want talents to feel like a choice of which one optimizes damage, but more of you choose what type of ability you want to do or get or be. And they're trying to find what artifacts, specs, and talents are needed to be reintroduced. So there is actually a lot of thought, I'm feeling, that's going into the class design going forward. And they're trying to really make it less about min-maxing and more about giving you the ability to kind of be what you want to be.
I mean, that's a cool idea and all, but people are still going to probably just follow the tide and true builds that the quote-unquote, back in the day, I don't know if they're still around, elitist jerks and crap like that would figure out, this is the most maximized build for this class, this spec, and this is what you need to do to get to endgame. And people will look at that and go, oh, well, that's what I need to do then. They're sheep. They're not going to change.
And plus, if you stop and think about it, there will always be that min-maxing things no matter what you do. Based off of, RP, your character already has a story and already has, the lore built into the game for that. That's kind of what I go off of. One of these days, I'm going to have to tell you Zeph's story. It's pretty neat.
Well, and, I have a story for Frazzy, Addie Fizzlebog is his girlfriend and stuff like that.
That may change after I tell you Zeph's story.
Okay. Yeah, Addie hasn't been available for a while, and she keeps running off with other hunters. Frasley has suspicions that she might be cheating on him.
Yeah.
Making me cough up.
Cough, cough, cough. No more of that.
Right.
I see what you're saying, and I think it will be hard to make talents feel really unique or that you're not missing something. I have always wanted that feel of picking something. When I've been listening to a couple of audiobooks about MMORPGs of the future, and there's this person's leveling up, they pick, oh, this sounds cool, or this sounds cool, and they're not respecing, there's none of that. They just kind of pick what sounds cool to them, and then they play with that.
I mean, ultimately, that'd be nice. Just, hey, I like having this talent from this spec, this talent from that spec, this talent from this, and being able to mash it all together, as you want it, and not having to commit to a bunch of other crap you never use, like everybody has.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that has ever used every single ability on their freaking toolbar?
Nope.
Has that ever been a thing?
Right now, Zeph does. But that's current iteration of game, depending on the spec.
On my hunter, I've got spells and things that I have never touched. I'm not even sure what they do anymore.
So like I said, Zeph does because I played her since about a month or two before Kata came out, so that's the thing. So I've been playing a priest for that long. How long is that? When did Kata come out?
10 or 11. Maybe even 09. It's been out for quite a while.
Yeah, so 2018, geez, that's a long time.
Yeah. And there is a Battle for Azeroth. I don't know why I put Battle for Q. Maybe I'm thinking of barbecue. But
yeah, barbecue, that sounds good.
Yeah. Hey, this is Ian. We're having a barbecue over here on the Blizzard campus. Everybody come on over and we'll talk about Battle for Azeroth. I know Thyst would be all over there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she'd be stealing a sandwich.
But I'm reminded of her story that she said on Convert to Raid about stealing the food from the media room, and she's walking down the hallway holding all this food for her friends, and who walks by but Ian? And she drops the food, and Ian's like, "You're not smuggling that food." "No, I'm hungry."
Yeah. In her community spotlight interview that she had on the blog, the last question she answered, it was about Hasakasis, and she was like, "I would just tell him I'm sorry."
Nice.
No actual context there. Just I would tell him I'm sorry. So you gotta wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Ian Hasakosis or goblins were hurt in this community spotlight interview, people. So come and check it out.
Yes. So yeah, there's a Battle for Azeroth live Q&A January 30th. So I'm excited because whenever there's a Q&A, I get to put it into the show notes for the next Razzlecast. Now, whenever I look at news, it's not as much what's the news, ooh, I can talk about this on the Razzlecast. The life of being in media. One thing I thought was interesting is Ro on Twitter said, so January 30th for the WoW Q&A, I'm guessing pre-orders go live that day, or rather everyone's going to be expecting word on pre-orders and or the alpha beta. Well, considering we already have beta appearing on the beta servers, pre-orders could be coming.
I mean, I think that they're going to elaborate on what they're doing there at the very least.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be any announcements other than what we already know, because I don't want to get my hopes up for something that may not be there, other than like the soon TM thing. Like, because I really just, I don't know what it is about Battle for Azeroth, but I see, and this is something that I'm giving away here, I see Gen getting in a lot of trouble. Next expansion with the current king. But that's all I'm giving away.
Yeah.
By the way, I have no inside sources. I promise you that. I'm sure the people at Blizzard will tell you the same.
I've got an inside source that Sylvanas is going to die in the opening cinematic for Battle for Azeroth, but that's just my inside source.
I mean, she may, but I don't think Xortz will allow that, so.
Come on, we need payback for Varian.
Varian sacrificed himself for you guys. We
Yeah,
had
he did.
nothing to do with him actually dying. He could have very easily found a way to get out of that, or let the whole ship get dragged down. One of the two. He decided to be anime hero boy and jump down onto the Fell Reaver. That was a choice, my friend.
Yeah, but the ship might not have left the broken shore if he hadn't. Oh well.
Well, then he should have, if he had chosen
AKA
differently,
save
we wouldn't be
himself.
having this discussion because none of you would be here.
True. Then we wouldn't be calling the next expansion Battle for Azeroth either. It would just be Battle of the, I don't know, insert fancy
That'd be it.
joke
That'd
here.
be it. It would just be welcome to Horde sexy time.
I mean, but I don't think anybody would still get close to that nose of yours, Xortz.
Okay, I got the title for the episode. Horde Sexy Time.
Horde sexy time.
I'll try to find a picture that fits. Or I could take a picture of an orc. And then, kind of WoW related, Maeve's Shadow Song is coming to Heroes of the Storm. So Blizzard released a video teaser on Twitter of Maeve. I don't play Heroes. I only played it to get a shiny in WoW.
Now, there's a big surprise.
Hey, if it has a shiny, I'll play it.
Of course you will. No shit.
And we have a new segment coming onto the show this week. We have a new segment. I'm about to cast Kilrog's Sight.
The hell?
That was me trying to cast a spell.
Okay.
Evening, Frazzlecast and listeners. I am here to use my Kilrog sight to foretell the future. On January 31st, there will be a Kirin Tor Tavern Crawl and Micro Holiday. This event starts by finding the mage Tipsy Wobbly Rune outside your faction in the Legion Valorant. Speak to this mage and be ported around Azeroth. There will be many taverns for you to see. There will also be a selfie camera with a discarded package within a few festive helms for a 4-hour buff. There also will be another holiday, February 2nd to 16th, Love in the Air. So get your tunes to the dungeon so you can try for the big love rocket. For the Dark Moon Fair will start also February 4th to 10th, where you still can be trying to get the buff on the carousel. There will also be a World Quest bonus on February 6th to February 12th. It will be 20 World Quests for 500 resources. There's also a PvP brawl with Belshore and Tar Mill happening. So don't miss out, as this month is packed loaded with things to come. This is all for now, and until later, more to come.
Thank you, Lady Emma, for Kilrog's Sight and for speaking from beyond. So lots of fun stuff coming up in WoW.
Oh, the rage that comes every year when people don't get their love rocket.
Yeah. Finally, last year I got my mount from the Halloween event, so...
I didn't get my love rocket last year either.
I mean, but who needs a love rocket when you have the awesome fan gnome right in your presence?
Aw.
And that Xortz guy.
I'm blushing.
I can't think of a way to put this that wouldn't get me kicked off the show. So I'm not going to say it.
Yes. Taking one for the team. Zeph 1, Xortz 0.
You just go ahead and tell yourself that. One day you might believe it.
I do believe it now. Nah.
Okay, I've got a new segment bumper for geeky stuff. Welcome to Geeky Stuff. So this week, we have news that the Apple HomePod is coming on February 9th, and pre-orders open up tomorrow. So is anybody here getting a HomePod?
I own absolutely nothing made by Apple, and I probably never will.
For a speaker that is $350, no, I have a better speaker that's Bluetooth. Or I have a speaker that's Bluetooth. Not necessarily better, but this works for my needs. And I spent $50 on it. So not that I don't enjoy what Apple is trying to do, but no, I'm not going to buy that. The likelihood that is way too much.
Okay, I get it. It's a smart speaker, but again, that price seems a little crazy.
Yeah, for $349, I'm not going to buy it. I own Apple stuff. Like we're running the podcast right now on a Mac. I've got an iPhone. I don't have an Apple Watch. I have a Fitbit.
Okay, but here, I'm going to stand on a slight soapbox for this.
Okay.
Only because my expectation of Apple and Blizzard have been pretty much high. And this is kind of where I'm going with this, is that the AirPods for this time, or not 2017, but 2016, those were supposed to come out for Christmas. But they came out about this time last year. A lot of Apple fans are a little annoyed because they said, "Oh, we're going to do this, and this," and they're overshooting and they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot with that. So if they are not ready, don't give the expectation that you're going to have it out by October, and now it's January, and we're like, what's happening, Apple?
Yeah,
I think they do it intentionally. I think because, especially around the holidays, other products and money is being competed for, and people may not want to drop $350.
Well, that's the intent. They wanted to have this out for the Christmas holiday because there's other companies, technology companies, that are putting things out that are similar. So, and plus we have...
They say they do, but I've discovered Apple's philosophy tends to stray from the norm quite a bit. And
they do, and the reason why that is, Xortz, is because the Apple is a cash cow. Let's face it. There's
people that will sit there and stand in line and this is what boggles me about Apple. Like I don't see this happen with any other product.
I mean, look at the Echo that came out on time from Amazon. That came out in late October,
but
early November.
Yep.
This should have been at that same point for Apple.
No, because Apple knows the people that are going to buy it are people that already own Apple products. They're Apple fans. I mean, so they know if we push it back, they won't go buy something else. They'll wait for us because we've got them hook, line, and sinker. Because the pod's going to hook with all, whatever shitty OS they put out this year. Then, come February 9th, if you got an Apple store in your area, you're going to see idiots lining up around the corner to drop $350 on something that probably isn't going to be all that great. Just like the rest of Apple's crap.
For me, the reason I'm not as interested in the HomePod is the fact that Amazon has amazing stuff with the Echo. They've been doing it for a while. They've been doing voice assistants for a while. They have all these apps, all these services, all these skills. Hopefully soon a Frazzlecast skill. But that has all these things you can do on the Echo that I'm not even hearing half the stuff you'd be able to do on Siri.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint. Like, I love my iPad, but I don't need a $350 speaker to go with that. I just don't. What you were referencing, Xortz, is the people that are literal, like, they do not care. They will buy Apple products no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's, yes, that is a percentage. And, absolutely. But maybe once they improve Siri and drop that price a little bit or make that more price efficient for people to where it is going out to a broader array of people willing to buy, then sure, I would be more than happy to pay for it. But right now, on my desk, I have a Polaroid speaker that is Bluetooth that works just as good
With like even the Echo, if you get the little Echo Dot for $50, you can plug it into any speaker. So if you want better speakers than what the Echo has, just plug something into it. Like I've got the Echo, my bedroom is plugged into another speaker. So I'm using that for the audio.
Yeah. I mean, and even then, it's like if you have something that, is like Bluetooth like I have, that's a little louder, that does have a nice bass to it. Like I can turn on the speaker, leave my room, and it's a smoother sound for me, because I don't necessarily want to wear headphones all the time, because I unfortunately have the thing of suffering from migraines. So this speaker is set a certain way, doesn't bother my head. I don't have to worry about the pressure of the headphones or anything like that. So that's what makes it nice. I don't know. I'm just sort of disappointed. And it's in more ways than one with them. This
thing's also only locked to Apple Music. So if you use Apple Music, which I use Pandora and Spotify, it wouldn't be beneficial for me.
There's a big surprise. Oh, you bought an Apple product. It's only going to work with other Apple products.
Well, other Apple services, technically. And to be honest with you, I didn't like the idea of Apple Music. And when Apple Music first came out, and for the love of all baby gnomes, Miley Cyrus had made a comment that, to where I think at that time it was the first month was free, or something like that, or first few months were free, and then you'd have to continue to pay. She said, well, how are artists getting paid for that first 3 month or 3 that you're offering the service for? I'm like, yeah, that seems to be a little bit of a jip for them, because I might not like her music or even enjoy it or whatever, but it's like, no, like they need to be paid.
Absolutely.
So do the producers, the mixer guys, the people that are going on tour with her. That's any artist. Not every artist knows how to play the piano. Not every artist knows how to play a guitar. Sometimes the voices are all that they have, that like the singing voices is all they have. So these other people need to be paid. Not every artist is a producer. That's the important part of that. There are teams of people that build albums, that build music. So unless you're Milli Vanilli, of course. Thank you, Rooster.
Good call, Rooster.
I mean, it took people other than Milli Vanilli to build that music, so they deserve to be paid. And it's like I know at one point Apple really messed up and took things off of their store, and the artist was mad. And I mean that will happen, and it's unfortunate.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the HomePod does in real world. Rooster's pointing out a couple of reviews that it actually apparently does sound really good. That it's so far a good product. It's not launching with things like multi-room audio when it first launches.
I mean, but you would think that they would have something like that working.
Yeah, because that way it would want you to also make you want to buy multiple HomePods in the beginning. I mean, because I know one of the big things that was supposed to happen with the HomePod was you buy 2 for a room, and it would form the audio to match the room, because it had like sensors and stuff like that. If you had 2, you could kind of get a stereo sound. So yeah, it'll be interesting, and I could possibly see them doing what like Google's done with the Google Home, what Amazon's done with the Echo, come out with the big one, and then later on come out with smaller ones at a smaller price point, and then ultimately bring the price points down. Time will tell how this plays out.
Yeah, I don't anticipate this being very good initially, business-wise, but that's just me.
Especially with all the competition that's already out there.
Exactly.
Let's get our high blood pressure down, because an interesting thing Shroud of the Avatars adding to their game is community wellness with the Moretz Fitness app. This was brought to my attention by a Jellos, and just a very interesting thing for an MMO to be doing. Basically, if you're playing Shroud of the Avatar, you can download the Moretz free fitness app, and it'll log your fitness things like Garmin, Apple Health, Google Fit, and Fitbit. And what you do in those services to be healthy will work into, you can redeem them for obsidian potions. So like right now they have potions like Potion of Capacity, Potion of Conservation, Potion of Expedience, Potion of Precision, Potion of Preservation, Potion of Reclamation.
But essentially, they're giving you a reward in the game for not playing the game.
But being healthy and doing healthy things. And
I think that's pretty cool.
And you get a cape. But yeah, they're saying, hey, we want you to be healthy, so we'll let you join it. So my kind of question topic from this is, what if you could earn a consumable to offset your gaming time based on how much you exercised in real life? Like, say, an XP boost because you were being healthy. So if you walked an hour, you get like an hour XP boost for the hour you spent in the real world.
Like, I think that would be cool. No, if we're trying to apply that to WoW, I doubt that they'll do that.
Yeah.
But that would be something that would be cool to see Blizzard do.
The nerd boys would rage.
Yeah, they'd be like, what do you
mean? If I want to get the current, buy this exclusive piece of armor, I have to try to do activities. Whoa.
It was the same thing with like Pokemon Go. People had to like trying to spoof Pokemon Go because they wanted we wanted the Pikachus and the Squirtles and stuff, but we don't want to actually go out and walk. So we're going to spoof the GPS. And I could...
Yeah, just get in the car and drive really slow. We can still sit down.
If you want to cheat the Fitbit, just put it on a little drill and go round and round and round. I saw YouTube videos of this. I don't know if it still works, but I mean...
Wait a minute.
That's not what I do. I don't do that. I actually do walk. But you can...
I'm on to you. I'm watching you.
No, I promise you. I do sacrifice game time for exercise time. But then I also sacrifice game time for podcast time. So, and game time for work time. Oh, you work 10 hours. Here's XP boost for 10 hours. Well, no, that doesn't quite work. But yeah, I can at least...
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
But if you're wearing your Fitbit during work and you get up and, whatever...
Yeah. So while you're at work and you're working and you get your Fitbit steps.
Yeah, like I know I used to work for an employer that you were a part of a thing, they would let you borrow a Fitbit from the company. And I was like, I didn't want to participate in the program because I was like, but because I wanted to do it myself. So that was their way of saying, hey, you do this thing, and you would get like a T-shirt or a company T-shirt or a gift card or whatever. And I was like, I'm not doing it for that. I don't want to feel like earning a T-shirt because I lost 5 pounds. No, I'm gaining this to gain confidence, whether it's in game or not. Sometimes you need to be that light for yourself, like the Paladins. Like there you go. But I don't know. Like that's look at me being a ray of sunshine.
Wait, so in real life, could I bubble hearth when that person's about to run me over as I'm walking across the street and they're like, no, you have the right of way?
I wouldn't advise trying it.
No, Presley. I will just, IRL, leap of faith you over to me and just give you a hug. It's okay.
Okay. Because I've almost been run over as I walk. So it's scary walking. It's scary. It's a jungle out there. Da-da-da-da.
Okay.
So somebody please get the monk reference.
No.
Oh.
I remember.
Okay.
I told you, man, I'm bringing absolutely nothing to the show tonight. I meant it.
Oh, no.
Well, no, you brought your lovely self.
Yes.
So, and that.
Well, that's all the world needs. But we don't want to give him too much, which is why I'm not going to be back for quite some time.
A few weeks, maybe.
I'm going to miss you, Xortz.
Got to keep him wanting more, Zeph.
Absolutely.
I know, right?
I need more pre-BFA filler. I mean, I need more pre-BFA content.
What? Filler?
AKA, he needs more.
Do I look like a freaking Twinkie to you?
Ooh, Twinkies.
He needs more 50 Shades of Grey blood elves, okay?
Something else that's really not a surprise to me, but it's sad that it's happening. Miitomo is closing on May 9th. Did any of you...
How's a Miitomo?
2 years ago, Nintendo released their first mobile app, Miitomo. It was all the rage. Nintendo released a mobile app! Nintendo released a mobile app! Ah! Everyone was all like freaking out, like, yay, Nintendo! We get into this mobile app, and it's like, what is this?
Basically, for those of you that lived under a rock, like Xortz here, because Goblin. But Miitomo basically was like, you are yourself in an avatar form, and you go visit your friends, do things, whatever, whatnot, and yeah, I used it for about a month and didn't use it since, and I just found it to be meh.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming that's where a lot of people are like, this is cool for like an afternoon, but not all the time.
Yeah, I forgot to
So, what exactly did it do?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right, so this is another one of those weird Nintendo things, because Nintendo likes doing weird things.
And like people bought in-game
I mean, they're
items.
not as weird as me, but you know.
You're a whole different kind of weird. You're the good kind of weird.
Oh my.
I know. I'm great.
Yeah, okay, so shitty Nintendo app.
My
going
cheetah,
bye-bye.
my cheetah pants like you, so it's okay.
After only 2 years.
I'm surprised it lasted that long, to be honest.
I am too, but now I'm worried about like Super Mario Run, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. I'm like, once Nintendo starts doing this with one app, what's to say with the other apps that they have now? You know, that's the one thing I can depend on from Blizzard. They keep things running. I don't know very many things that aren't running at Blizzard.
But these things are functional to their ecosphere, or their things like, you know, like the apps that they have, like the one that we use for our missions, the Authenticator. You know, that is something that I believe is necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish that they would kind of bring them all together and kind of, I mean, because they have a lot of apps. Like, it's ridiculous how many apps they have, really. But if they can find a way to kind of put it under one umbrella, that would be nice.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want from them is a battle pet thing. I've been wanting it for years.
Yes.
Please make this work, Blizzard. I love you.
Mobile.
Please.
I want mobile battle pets and Warfronts mobile. I was watching the Warfronts demo at BlizzCon. I was like, Warfronts could also work as an iPad tablet app.
Yeah, I can see that working too. I would enjoy that.
Me too.
It would just be another thing I don't do.
Well, I mean, right now, I think the reason why I don't do it is because it's so many things. Like, if it was kind of universal, I mean, with the exception, the only way that I would, like, kind of put the exception on this, want it to be separate, would be the Authenticator. And then everything else kind of be molded into one thing. But that's just me, though. I don't know. It just seems to be just a lot of things that could be one that isn't. That's a lot of stuff, too.
Yeah. And I think with different apps, it at least lets them specialize the code base for different things. Like, but yeah, as long as they don't let the Legion companion app go away after Legion is over.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that there is a code there that would, some base thing, like you were saying, for the Battlefronts and all that, to where they can switch that over into that, possibly, to where instead of the order halls, rather than being that, it would be those things, like little things. I mean, I don't know. And then, take a look at the guild stuff, and then in the auction house. But if it's all one, and I'm saying have it be different sections within the app, so that way each part is just a placeholder rather than in a bigger app. So that way each thing has its own individual code that's just laid on top of a nice shell, basically.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, and that would make a lot of sense. Kind of, it all connects together.
And that way, too, let's say your account has a virtual ticket for BlizzCon, because the BlizzCon app is also a different app all in itself, too, to where that could be like, oh, we see that you're checking your StarCraft thing or the Warcraft thing over here at Battle Pass. Well, there's this thing on BlizzCon that we're having a panel on, and you have a virtual ticket. Watch it. Like that would be a cool thing. Again, I'm not a coder or anything like that, but I understand it a little bit. But that's an idea. Like, I don't know if that can be done or not. Just a thought. Like, keep at it, Blizz, but kind of make it a little better, make it pretty. I mean, I know you can do it. I believe in you. Go for it.
Absolutely, and don't close down your apps like Nintendo. And from the fans, our anonymous candy source is back again this week. So they brought to our attention an article from the National Post. Nestle Japan is launching a new Ruby Chocolate Kit Kat. Naturally made, has a berry taste with no fruits or colors added. It's the fourth new natural flavor of chocolate since white chocolate in the 1930s.
Berry, it would be like strawberry, maybe?
That's kind of what it's sounding like. And it's natural. It's not no colors added. No, I mean, so it's truly this chocolate.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if you've noticed with a lot of strawberry and even cherry candies out there, once they go in candy form, they don't taste as good. Like, there's a lot of cherry strawberry things that I just can't. They're just, to me, it must just be my taste buds, or it's the candy themselves. I'm thinking it's more me than the candy. I just can't eat it to where it's just too artificial. So this is actually pretty cool that they're doing this. And I mean, we've seen Japan with the orange Kit Kat, the green one, whatever that one was. That one looked interesting. I know that they had I think there was a toffee one at one point. So that seems pretty cool.
And the fact that this is naturally made, so it might taste better to you because it's not artificial.
Yeah, and I would assume that there would be less sugar on it too.
Yeah. So you can sign up right now for it from an email to buy this expensive candy. It'll be delivered even to the United States and England.
Xortz seems to have fell out of Discord.
Yeah. Well, and with that, because we are both eating our new Ruby Chocolate Kit Kats. No, I don't have mine yet. But thank you all for coming tonight to Frazzlecast. Zephirah, where can we find you?
On Twitter at Zephirah_Zella, or at the new blog, zephirahsadventure.wordpress.com. Take a look at it. I'll make sure to post it to your Discord too. So anybody's looking for it, they can find it there.
Nice. And yep, I'll make a link in the show notes. And I'm going to update the About page to list your new blog. So, nice.
Thank you.
Head on over there to read the interview with Thyst, the interview with Xortz, and the interview with Scott Johnson that's coming out soon. Yeah,
and if you do happen to go to the blog, there is a link for a Discord server for the blog as well. Nice thing about that is that you're going to get all the news from there as well. As we talked about in the last show that I was on, we have a You're Not Alone channel. Gives you a bunch of resources that we talked about then.
Nice.
Definitely come on over. We're not shy over there.
Yep, I've already joined, so it's definitely good. Now let me get into my Xortz voice. Yeah, I'm Xortz. So you can find me on Twitter at Xortz the Goblin. You can find me on the Twitches at twitch.tv/Xortz the Goblin. I do game streaming. Iron Man, you can find me tomorrow night. I do an Iron Man.
But what about that nasty nose thing that you have, Xortz?
My nose? I like my nose. It had plastic surgery to get my nose to look the way it does. It is great.
All right.
Well, yeah, you can find me on the Twitches and stuff like that. So definitely head on over there, check it out, and and all the games and stuff like that. It's great. Well, thank you, Xortz. That sounds awesome. I know it is awesome because I'm awesome. Yeah, you are awesome, Xortz.
Yeah, he is sort of awesome. Thanks, Xortz, for being here.
Absolutely. So this ends the Xortz stuff for a couple weeks. During the weeks that I'm going to be slinging all those pizzas and stuff like that. So
Like frisbees.
yeah, kind of like that. Except the ice, so they eat in the face. It hurts. well, yeah, that would hurt, Xortz. I agree with that. I'm a goblin. I know things. Yeah, Xortz. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Whatever.
you know what? Go Alliance. Whoa, Xortz. Yeah, I decided to become a gnome. I'm going to be called Xortz the Gnome coming up soon. Wow.
Yeah, I told him to take off that robe that he was having on to mimic you, Frasley, because, you're the awesome gnome, not anybody else.
Thank you. And now Xortz is becoming a gnome too. Oh, wow. You all heard it here first. Text Xortz saying, wow, I'm shocked that you're becoming a gnome. Yeah, I just have time for something different. I got to become a gnome now. Gnomes are better than goblins. Wow, Xortz. That's going to start a Twitter war. I just see that. You better stop. You better stop now, Xortz.
Yeah, he's going to become a tinker now.
Yeah. Gnome engineering's better than goblin engineering because they do better engineering stuff. Xortz, I think now you're either kidding with me. Yeah, I'm kidding with you. I'm not going to be becoming a gnome. I'm a goblin. For the Horde. Okay, there you go, Xortz.
No, it's more like for the Sylvanas love of your life.
Hey, Sylvanas is pretty cool. I mean, the way that she betrayed the Gonei and stuff like that, she's really cool. She's all about the money.
I'll give you my gold later, Xortz. It's okay.
It sounds good. I want that gold. Well, and I was on an episode of the Miscellaneous podcast. It was recorded yesterday. You'll be able to hear it coming up soon. You can find me at Frasley.com, on Twitter at Frasleytastic. You can find the show at Frazzlecast. Get in touch with us at show@frazzlecast.com. Call us at 1440-536-3711. Tweet us at Frazzlecast, or leave us a voicemail on our voicemail page at frazzlecast.com/voicemail. Until next week, be awesome. I love you, Sylvanas. Xortz.
And don't forget to eat my lock cookies.
And don't let me use my leap of faith to get you out of the middle of traffic.
Greetings, gamers. This is Mewcow, your guide in treating a common gamer condition called altitis. Alcoholics rejoice. Blizzard has given us level scaling. First, the good. All levels scale to their expansion's max level, allowing you to stay where you want and finish out questlines instead of being rushed along. Original Azeroth zones scale to 60. Leveling zones scale from 1 to 10, however, and previously high-level zones start their scaling from their old initial levels. Burning Crusade and Wrath zones scale from 60 to 80, again, starting at their pre-patch initial levels. Cataclysm and Pandaria continue this pattern from 80 to 90. Draenor required no changes and scales from 90 to 100, and of course the Legion will finish us off from 100 to 110. And then, the bad. Heirloom gear isn't quite as good stat-wise post-patch, but still gives the same experience boost. Also, your targets will likely have a bit more health to deal with, especially for those that run old raids for transmog gear. While many consider these changes a nerf, I see it as a chance to fully enjoy the leveling experience. As the Pandaren say, slow down. Leveling is to be savored. If you have questions, tips, or want to discuss a topic further, find us on Twitter at altitis.net, and show notes can be found on our website, altitis.net. On behalf of the Alt Army, we hope you find this information useful in the treatment of your altitis.
PvP product promotion proves problematic. It's the Overly Dramatic News. I'm Hunts the Wind. With the buzz building that the temporary armistice between Horde and Alliance will soon break down, it isn't too surprising that some opportunistic elements are already looking for ways to take advantage of the changing situation. And it shouldn't be surprising at all that the Kaja-Cola Corporation is leading that charge. The beverage conglomerate earlier this week introduced 2 new versions of its signature product, colored blue and red to match the colors of Azeroth's once, and soon-to-be-again, enemies. but the first bottles were barely off the production line when PepsiCo issued a cease and desist letter claiming that they held the copyright on the colored cola concept. Kaja-Cola scoffed at the letter, emphasizing its disdain by sending a troll out to read a prepared statement. Claiming that U.S. copyright law had no force in Azeroth, the troll sneered that Pepsi was making a mountain out of a molehill, and that there really wasn't anything that Pepsi could do to stop the company's plans. Broadcasting across all Azeroth, I'm Hunts the Wind. Check out the archives at overlydramaticnews.com or follow me on Twitter at Hunts the Wind.
Welcome to episode 23 of the Frazzle Report. Today is Friday, January 26th, 2018. With 7.3.5 came redeveloped zone-level scaling. This has made many Quest NPCs very happy. They used to be desperate for someone to take their quest, or they would give someone a quest and never hear back from them, as the person would outlevel the zone and move on. There is, however, an unforeseen issue that arose. With more people completing more quests, Quest NPCs have had to stock more quest rewards. If you were curious as to the outage of the Auction House API, the service that powers the mobile Auction House app, and add-on data like the Undermine Journal, Auctionator, TSM, and such, then we found the real reason. It isn't just because of the patch in the underlying systems. Quest NPCs used to place an order for the items they needed, and Gallywix would supply them with the necessary items. Gallywix, who also runs the Auction House Committee, which we discussed in episode 17, has created a temporary emergency dropship market for quest rewards. If an NPC is running low, using goblin triangulation techniques, Gallywix will deploy some airships to bring items to the quest NPC. If you ever wonder why an NPC dialog box won't open, won't advance to the next page when you click on it, or seems to be stuck, this is why. The NPC is frantically messaging Gallywix to get the item to you before they display a list of items. Depending on how long it takes to get the quest items replenished, the NPC will have your character disconnected from the server to give them more time. The postmaster delivering your loot in the mail is because sometimes when mobs die, they do not have loot on them. So Gallywix sends it to you as the postmaster. You just forgot to loot it. All of these quest reward deliveries are done using sophisticated engineering equipment to make the airships and deliveries invisible to the player. A few of the Mist of Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor raid boss item drops were stuck in a warehouse, so Gallywix had the health of those raid bosses temporarily increased to be very difficult. They finally got it resolved by the second extended maintenance that happened last weekend, so the raid bosses got nerfed. This emergency dropship market for quest rewards is run off the same hardware as the Auction House API to allow for faster deployment of the emergency system. However, this had the unfortunate side effect of taxing the WoW Auction House API to the point of breaking, and Gallywix has a team of engineers working round the clock to resolve it as quickly as possible. This whole ordeal has cost him quite a bit of change, due to less people posting auctions without the API data to assist them. This isn't the first time the API has been down for an extended period of time, but hey, Goblin Tech, what do you expect? This has been the Frazzle Report. I am Frazzly Sparkspan. You can find the show at frazzlereport.com. Until next week, be awesome. Frazzlecast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment. Views expressed by the host and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended.
Want more awesomeness every week? Visit weeklyawesome.com. Weekly podcasts to make your week better. Remember to smile and be awesome.